What's up, my crypto legends? In this episode, I'm going to show you how I make up to $100 every single day by just having a few $100 in my account by trading these simple strategies in the cryptocurrency market. At the end of the video, I will show you how I trade these patterns live with real money on PrimeXBT and on Bybit. Remember, down below you have always the best bonus available on these platforms. I also got a full tutorial of both of the platforms, guys. Said this, let's go straight into the video. Hello there, Andy here. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I do daily TA on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I also do live streams to connect with the community. I am not a financial advisor, so don't buy or sell anything that I say. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you by just using price action and volume with no indicators whatsoever, you can be a profitable trader. Let's dive in straight into the first strategy. For this tutorial, I'm going to use the Ethereum US dollar pair, and from late June till the beginning of July, I found several strategies where you could take advantage, okay? And I'm going to show you in this episode. The first one is a double top scenario. Here, the Ethereum price, we can clearly see that it had a run up, okay? Had a peak around the $2,040 here, and then had a run down. We had a clear support here at $1,880 approximately. Another run up here, creating the double top pattern. Now, this is not confirmed until we break this major support range. So let's get a box right over here so we know where the top is, which is right over here, and where the support is, which is right over here, as you can see on the chart, right? So now let's take a look at the potential measured target. We do know that the measured move from a double top pattern is the width, okay, of the pattern. So from the top to the support level, this is the measured move from a double top pattern. Now you get the resistance down to the support, and from the breakout, this would be the measured move. Now there are two ways here to enter a trade. You can either enter the breakout, okay, right over here, just when you are breaking out, you can enter this trade, or you can wait for a retracement and enter right over here, okay? Now the measured move is coming all the way down to the $1,730 range, and as you can see here on the chart, we perfectly met the target, okay? So now what we're going to take a look at right over here is where we could place our stop loss. Now you want to risk one potentially to gain 4, or 1 to gain 2. You're never going to risk 2 to gain 1, right? Because you're risking more than you can win. So this is risk management. So in this case, if you did enter a trade right over here in a short position, now you want to place your stop loss here behind this major support that's going to be heavy resistance, as you can see. So you are risking a very small position to gain all of this movement, okay? So you can see that you are risking 1 potentially to gain about 3, right? Or even 4. The distance in between this and your stop loss from your entry is 4 times larger. So now in this case, you are risking 1 to gain 4, which is very, very profitable. Now, if your stop loss would have been hit, this means that in another trade, if you do win it, then you've risked 2 and you gained 4, for example. So at the end, you should be profitable by using this strategy. I want to show you on this chart, because here I've indicated you where you would actually enter the price. As you can see, we have the double top pattern right over here. You break out, this is where you enter, and the target is all the way down here, okay, meeting the $1,730 in this case. Now you've got 2 entry points. You can either enter there and either enter there. Now you do not want to enter on the retracement if you already reached the target, okay? Only if you dip below a little bit and retrace, like in this case. If you come all the way to the target and come back up, this is not a moment to trade, okay? Before you actually take the target, okay, before you reach the target, you want to enter this trade. So as you can see, your stop loss would be behind this major support range, and as you can see, this met the target perfectly. Let's go with the second strategy. Now for the second strategy, I'm going to use the descending wedge pattern. So I can just fast forward here and I can already see one. For all of these patterns, I'm going to use the 30-minute chart. Okay, now let's zoom in here, because I can already see this pattern just after this double top scenario. Right over here, we can clearly see a descending wedge. We do connect the resistance points and also the support lines, and there is a descending wedge here, as you can see. Now, the measured move of a descending wedge from a breakout, okay, this is usually a bullish pattern. As you can see, we did break to the upside. The measured move target, the first one, would be around here at the top of the wedge always, okay? So from the breakout, you can clearly see that we met the target here perfectly. This would be target number 1. And why is the 2 targets? Because a descending wedge, if it does come from an uptrend like it has here, then this could be also a pennant, and you get the measured move from the lower point to the resistance, and from the breakout this should take you also to the second target. As you can see right over here, this met the target perfectly, just right over there, just where we stopped. So this would be the first target coming all the way up here to the top of the wedge, and the second one would be coming all the way up here because this was the pole, as you can see here on the chart. Now, where would your entry point be? Your entry point would be straight here from the breakout at the very end of this wedge. You enter a trade right over here. Where would your stop loss be? Your stop loss could be below here, the support range, okay? So in this case, you enter around about the $1,840, and your stop loss is at 1,790 approximately. Now, let me just show you on this chart over here. This is how I explain the possible entry and targets. You can see clearly the descending wedge. You enter right over here like I show you. You put your stop loss well behind the support from the descending wedge, okay? And your first target is the top of the wedge, and the second target is all the way up here. Like I mentioned, this would be the pole entering here, this pennant. Now, here also, you are risking 1 to gain 3, 4, or potentially 5. Your entry point is right over here. Your stop loss is right there, okay? So you do have a pretty tight stop loss. You're not losing too much, and your potential gains, as you can see, is well more than what you are risking. You are potentially gaining 3 or 4 times what you are risking. So this is the second strategy, guys. For those that are experienced traders, at the end of the video, I use PrimeXBT, and by using my link in the description, you're getting 50% as bonus added to your deposit by using Bitcoin Sensors 50 as the promotion code. I also use Bybit, and by using my link in the description, you'll be getting the best bonus available at this moment. You can get up to $1,610 worth of bonus. The third strategy that I want to show you is an inverse head and shoulder. And if I just fast forward here on the Ethereum US dollar pair, to detect this pattern, you want to do it at the very end of a trend. So this trend is going to the downside and finishes around this area. So now if I do connect these lower highs here and create a trend line, as you can see, I can already see this inverse head and shoulder. We have a left shoulder right over there. We have the head potentially there, and the right shoulder here a little bit smaller, and then we clearly broke out from this neckline resistance and retested it and came all the way up here to the target. What is the measured move target? Well, the measured move target is getting the bottom bit of the head to the neckline, and from the breakout, which is right over there, you can perfectly see that the target was met here around about the $2,230. Now your question must be, where do I enter this trade? Well, you can either enter right over here at the breakout, or you can wait for a retracement to the neckline and enter there. So you've got 2 options here to enter this trade. Where would I put my stop loss? Your stop loss can be below, okay, the neckline right over here approximately, or you can even put it below the right shoulder roundabout here. And as you can see, the target is all the way up over here. So now you have risked, okay, this small amount to potentially gain 2 or 3. So you're risking 1 to gain 2 or 3 approximately, as you can see here on this chart. Now on this other chart, you can see how I explain it. You have your entry point right over here, okay, and your stop loss being below here, the neckline. So you can see you're risking this movement to gain all of this movement here to the upside. Let's go to the fourth strategy. And the fourth and last strategy, and not because of this, the less important one, because this has got to be one of the most profitable trading strategies that I've used in my trading career. This is breakout of support and resistance zones. Let's zoom in here and fast forward on the Ethereum price, because to detect these movements, you need to get your support and resistance lines. So now, for example, here we have clearly a support range where the price action has bounced a couple of times right over here. So we can detect this and make a box, okay, because it's an important level, as you can see here on the chart. Now, another support range, okay, is this one right over here, where we dropped and we had several candles here on the 30-minute chart. So this is a major zone also that we stopped here on the Ethereum price. Now, to get into these trades, we can clearly see that the end of the trend was right over here. So this is a major support level. So if we break below this range, then this is going to be a clear resistance zone, all right? So now it was clear support right over here. And as soon as we broke below it, now, when you want to enter this trade, you want to enter at a retracement, okay, right over here. If it's been heavy support, the most likely is it's going to be heavy resistance, as you can see here on the chart. So this would be a great entry point right over there. So you would enter this trade, and where would you exit? You would exit right down over here, retesting the bottom of this major support. You do not know if it's going to be broken, so you want to exit your trade right over there. Now, if we do break this zone, you let the price action do what it needs to do. Now, where do you want to enter? At the potential retracement, as you can see right over here. It's been bouncing exactly at this support, turning it into resistance. Where do you want to exit? You want to exit down here, retesting the bottom for a potential double bottom pattern, as you can see here on the chart. So you enter at the retracement. You don't enter at the breakout, because you do not know how far this trade can go. But what you do know is when you retrace, that you are potentially going to come back down and retest the lower part. So this is when you exit here your trade, because look what happened afterwards. We went to the other direction. Now, if I go on this chart, you can clearly see how I explain this support and resistance strategy. Okay, you can clearly see you have your support range, you break down, you come back up, you enter here at the bounce of the resistance zone, and your target is all the way down here, retesting the bottom bit. Now, when you break out, you do not enter a trade, you wait for a retracement, and you enter here at the bounce of the resistance, and your target is all the way down here, retesting, okay, this kind of double bottom scenario. So this is the fourth, one of the most profitable strategies I have used here on trading. And zooming out here on the Ethereum price, you can clearly see that these patterns were detected in just a few days. This is late June and the beginning of July. It wasn't easy for me, but this is how I make up to $100 every single day, and this is the proof. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of strategies that I have been using the last week on PrimeXBT and on Bybit, so stay tuned. Here on the Bitcoin price, what I can see that we have broken out from this ascending wedge, okay? And one thing that I can see right over here is a double top pattern just over there, as you can see. Now, we want to clearly get the support area, which would be this one right over here where we're just about to touch, okay? This is round about the $45,600, $45,500 range, okay? As you can see, I'll draw it for you. We've got this resistance right over there. So we've got this leg up touching this resistance, then another leg down here touching the support, leg up, resistance, leg down, support, and then finally breaking down. Now, this is a double top pattern. The double top pattern, a measured move, is getting the support all the way to the resistance, and from the breakout, well, as you can see, the target hadn't still been met. The target is all the way down here to the 43,500, 43,800 if you want to be conservative. Now, I do believe so that we might be getting a bounce here at this support, turning it into resistance, and then continuing to the downside. This is the measured move. This is the moment you want to place a trade. So now, let's go and place a trade here, a short position round about this area, which is the $45,400 range. So if I go here to PrimeXBT, I would place a sell order right over here. And to earn up to $100 on a trade, I'll put 0.1. Okay, I've got a tutorial of PrimeXBT down in the description so you can learn how to use margin trading. But putting 0.1 here as amount, my margin impact is 0.001. So that would give me more or less a take profit of $100 if I take profit at about 43,750. Then this gives me a profit of 0.004, which would be around about 100. Okay, this is plus minus $50. And now if I put my stop loss just behind this neckline over here, so around about the 46,200, that would be a good stop loss, a good risk management. And yeah, I'll be losing, okay, not even a third part of what I'm going to get as profit. So let's put that order in and let's wait to see what happens. So as you can see on PrimeXBT, I've got over $100 worth of profit. It's been less than 24 hours. Here you can see the double top scenario we broke down, and here's where I entered my trade at 45,352. I was a little bit in negative, but now I am perfectly in profit. Here on the chart, we can see the scenario mentioned yesterday, the double top here with this support. We entered here at this bounce, a little bit in negative, and now I am in a profit. Now you can take profits at 70 or 80%, okay, of the target, which would be round about now. You do not need to wait for the 100% profit. So now we're over $100, so I'll be closing my position. This is the Chainlink price on the 4-hourly chart, and you can clearly see that we've formed a very nice descending wedge here on the chart, right? So now we are just about to break the resistance from this descending wedge. The measured move is coming all the way up here to the top of the wedge. So I've just placed my order here on Bybit. It is about 40 contracts here with using a 9x leverage. I got a full tutorial down below, guys, remember, so you can learn how to trade with these margin trading platforms with PrimeXBT and Bybit. With Bybit, a 9x with 40 contracts here and link would give me a profit of about $100 if I do reach the $30 range. My stop loss would be well below here, the resistance, around about the $25 range, and I'm just going to wait to see what is going to be the result. And after a few hours here on the Chainlink chart, you can clearly see that we successfully broke the resistance here from this descending wedge. We kind of met the target already here, which is the top of the wedge. If we go to the Bybit account, you can clearly see here over $80 in a profit. We did reach over $100 in a profit, but we have a massive wick here already on the 4-hourly chart. So now we could close our trade in an insane profit. Now we were risking $60 because my stop loss was at 25.6. As you can see here, I was a little bit in a negative, but then as you can see, we finally broke out here. Now we can close our position in a profit. And this is going to be it for this trading strategy pattern tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, if you are an experienced trader, PrimeXBT and Bybit, you have the best bonuses down below, okay, in the description. You'll be also having the full tutorial that I've got for PrimeXBT and Bybit at the end of this video. And guys, if you haven't checked out the Bitcoin Center's website, there's a link also down below in the description. Totally free information. You got the latest news, technical analysis, exchange reviews, guides on how to buy, how to store Bitcoin, all the latest information down below on the website, guys. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.